She's so heavy. Hi there, I'm here today to talk a little bit about my New Year's resolutions for 2020. I don't think that I've made resolutions since I was probably about 10, and I don't think that I had much luck sticking to them at that time, but maybe now that I'm a big mature lady of 25, I'll be able to stick to some New Year's resolutions. I'm very lucky because before filming this video I was surrounded by moving boxes. It was an absolute mess in here, and Nick came in and helped me move boxes to the side, and he put up these pictures, so he's actually made this area look quite nice. My first resolution for 2020 might seem kind of basic, but for me this is quite a big deal, and that is that I want to remember to bring lunch to work. I'm really bad in the mornings. I'm so disorganised. I always forget to bring lunch to work, and I often don't really do breakfast because I don't get hungry until about 10, so that I end up at work without lunch, feeling kind of iffy. And I have a job that demands quite a lot of attention, and I don't really get much time to sit down, which is fine. But I find that by the time I get to about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm so hungry, and I come home and I just end up spending a lot of time flopped out on the couch eating biscuits. This phone buzzing is driving me mad. I'm going to turn it off. But yes, one of my goals is to bring lunch to work, and it doesn't have to be a big lunch, but I would like to bring some sort of lunch, and then that will help me not be so snacky after work. That would be great. Now, last year was my first year of working full-time, and I had a great year. I learned so much, and I really loved my job, but I found that I carried a lot of work home with me afterwards. A lot of work got carried over into the evenings and the weekends, and that got quite hard near the end of the year. So what I'm wanting to do for this year is to be better with managing my time so that I can get more work done during the day and have more time in the evenings and the weekends for myself. And that ties into what this resolution is, which is that I want to have more time that I can spend on my hobbies for this year. There's stuff that I'm doing at the moment because it's the holidays that I feel like I haven't been able to do for the whole year. Stuff like little watercolour paintings and drawing, going out for walks, video editing, stuff like this that I really enjoy. And I feel like during the year it's just work, which, if you love your job, you know, it's great to be doing work, but you are not your job. And my boss tells me that quite a lot. She's like, you're not your job, it's just one part of your life, and you need to build up the other areas of your life. So that's something that I'm really wanting to improve on this year. I'm wanting more time on my hobbies and the things that make me happy. And that connects to my third resolution, which is wanting to spend more time with Nick, my hubby. This guy, I'll put a picture of him up somewhere. I want to spend more time with him in like a nice way, not just sitting down like watching a bit of TV while I do some work. I want to actually go out for walks with him together. We've recently just got a little golden retriever puppy, Lottie. She's the best. She's so cool, and we can't take her out for walks yet until she's about 18 weeks. We want to drive out to places like Midawai or other lovely beaches, some of the West Coast beaches. We can just go out there, do some lovely walks in the weekend and in the evenings. So that's something I really want to do. I want to have more quality time getting out into the world, not just sitting at home watching TV. that's great to do sometimes as well. I mean, I love TV probably more than the average person. I spend a lot of time watching TV, but I'd like to get out more into the world this year. That's a goal. Which kind of connects quite neatly actually into my next resolution, which is to spend less time on screens this year, and especially my phone. I'm definitely a little bit of a phone addict, I think. If I'm ever having a moment where I feel a little bit bored, then I just find myself reaching for my phone. What I'm usually doing is browsing around on Reddit or something. Like, I feel like I'm always trying to constantly keep myself entertained, and it means that I'm kind of missing out on opportunities to let my mind kind of entertain itself. You know, like when you're always looking for something that someone else has made or something that someone else has written, and that's time that you could actually be spent doing or making your own thing to entertain yourself. Or trying to come up with an interesting conversation to have with Nick, or going and doing dog training with Lottie, or just sitting in the bus having a think. Not that I'm really in the bus, but you get the picture. So less time on my phone. People now spend so much time on their phones. I didn't have a smartphone for a really long time. I kind of held back. I had my little Sony Ikson slider phone until, I think I had that until I was about 20s. I've actually only had a touchscreen phone for like 5 years or so. Trying to use the internet on these old school phones. I remember at school and stuff being able to load up like a Wikipedia page, and it would take a good couple of minutes, and all the pictures would be all warped around and the text would be in one little long bit, and you would kind of be trying to read down, which made it quite hard if you were trying to like quickly look up something about World War II before your history exam. Now it's a lot easier, but that ease definitely comes with difficulties, like I've just said, just wasting time on my phone. And I think a lot of people do this as well. You just waste time. Phones are great time wasters, but I'm wanting to waste less of my time and to start using it in a meaningful way. So that is a good resolution for me. Now this next one, is quite important to me, and that's that I want to read more, as in like proper books. I want to hold a book in my hand, and I want to get away from my phone. I've done quite a lot of ebook reading this year, but it's just something else that ties you to your phone. Like, I miss actually visiting the library and choosing books and having a book next to my bed at night. Just with technology, everything's instant. You can have it right away, but it takes away from the whole experience of it. Like, you don't get to go to the library and walk around and choose your books, read all the back covers and be in that environment. You're just still sitting on your bed or sitting on the couch or something, and now you've got a book. Like, you haven't left the house and had the experience. So I'm wanting to get out into the world and go to the library. You can see there's a bit of a theme happening here with me getting out into the world instead of just hanging about at home. Okay, connecting a little bit into my goal about bringing my lunch to work, I want to be eating healthily this year, and I feel like this is probably one of the top New Year's resolutions that everyone has every year. Like, this is the year that I'm going to eat healthily, but I think there's a reason for it. I mean, everyone wants to eat healthily, but then when life gets in the way, it makes it really hard. So one of the things that I'm really wanting to do is to shop more consistently in the weekend at the supermarket, so that I've actually got stuff at home that I can use to cook. Because I know when I'm really, really busy during the week, we never want to go to the supermarket on like Wednesday night and buy canned tomatoes or whatever it is that we need to cook a good dinner at home. We're just more likely to go down the road and get a $5 pizza for dinner. And it's just food that, I mean, it tastes great, I love pizza, but when you're doing something like that a few times a week instead of cooking at home, it does kind of add up and it doesn't make you feel that good. So I'm wanting to go shopping more often and make more of an effort to include vegetables in my like day-to-day diet. Like especially as a vegetarian, it's really important that I eat more stuff like spinach and lentils, and I love those things, but if they're not in the cupboard then I'm not eating them. So I need to get them from the supermarket, get out into the world, put them in the cupboard, and then spend some time in the evening cooking them up and trying to find some more interesting ways of doing them as well, because I've kind of got my regular handful of meals that I really like to cook, and a whole stack of recipe books, so many good recipes, and then I find that I don't really use them. I'm wanting to make a video actually about planning meals and going to the supermarket, because when I plan them out and I do go shopping, I always have a really good week, so I just need to do that more often. But I've probably got some tips and stuff that I can share, because I've got quite a good system, and when I do it, it actually works really well, and we eat lots of dinners at home and it's great, so I might do another video about that. Yeah, more vegetables. Eat your veggies, kids, it's important. And my last resolution, this is going to be taking up a lot of my time, but I'm excited about it. We just bought our first house a month and a half ago. We moved in, and it's a very livable house. We're super lucky. It's very livable, there's nothing really majorly wrong, but it hasn't really been renovated since the 80s, aside from having like a bit of paint put up. So we're wanting to actually spend a lot of time this year doing renovations on the house. At the moment, our big project is the outdoor area. Since we've got Lottie, there's a deck area at the top that we're leaving for now, and then the lower area has been concreted over, and we're wanting to actually cut the concrete, slice it up, take it to the dump, and actually plant a lawn out there so that we can have a deck area and a lawn area. So that's one of the goals for the holidays at the moment that we're working on. And we've also been repainting the garage. But in our house, you can't just repaint because the entire thing is covered with wallpaper. So before you repaint, you've got to take off all the wallpaper. So the garage has kind of been our testing area, so that we've been learning a lot about how to strip wallpaper, how to do plaster, how to sand the walls, and learning about like the cutting in and the rolling and stuff with the paint, like the whole thing from start to finish. The garage has been our guinea pig, because we didn't want to try it for the first time in the lounge or something. But yeah, it's just funny though, because our garage is going to be looking a lot more put together than the rest of the house, which suits Nick. But yeah, our next one after that will be the lounge, I think. But anyway, lots of renovations on the go. We'll probably make a little house tour video of how the house is at the moment before we actually do all the renovations. And then yeah, we're young people living in Auckland, just starting out in our careers, so we don't have a huge amount of extra money floating around. So basically all of our renovations this year, we're going to be buying the supplies as cheaply as we can and doing it all ourselves. Like, we're really on a tight budget, so I'm wanting to film a little bit more of that process of how we renovate the house. And we've learnt a lot from this garage, so I'm looking forward to bringing that knowledge up into the rest of the house. That is what I want for 2020, and there's a lot of stuff that I'd really like to make videos on as well, so I'm going to try and do that, and I'm also going to try and do a monthly vlog. I'm putting it all into this video so that I'm saying it at the start of the year, and I'm really wanting to try and keep up with it, because video editing is something that makes me really happy. So those are my goals for 2020, my resolutions. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.